saying that one of the hardest things players have to do is stay ready when they're not playing. How do you do it?
I think it's a mentality, just always being ready, act like you're gonna play. Don't come in the game assuming you're not gonna play, and then just putting the work in. I think that's the two biggest things for me.
Is there a tendency when you finally get the chance to play to try to press a little bit?
I think it's natural a little bit, definitely. But as the game goes on, you gotta kind of relax, and it's a fine line. But I think naturally, everybody kind of tries to do that.
Tonight, you and Delano both had big runs, like not having played an awful lot because you let the game come to you. Kind of thing. You made a three, you made a couple.
Yeah, for sure. I think we were just playing good out there. The ball was moving. Nobody was really forcing anything, and it just kind of came to us. So yeah.
How hard is that just to stay patient and not get like caught up in I'm not seeing the floor?
I mean, it's hard for sure. I mean, as a competitor, you want to be out there, shoot every minute, to be honest, until you're tired. But just looking in the future, just sticking with it as long as you do the things that you can control. I think everything will play out how it's supposed to.
Is that not good that way? Like, are they good to sort of like sounding boards that way?
For sure. Thad, Otto, they've been in the league a long time. Thad, 16 years, so always just trying to hear what he got to say, and he's had the same thing too. He hasn't played some games, and he's been super positive. Right there on the bench, no negative comments come out of his mouth. So always just seeing what he says and kind of follow him.
How do you approach that fine line of not trying to do too much or prove yourself versus also just trying to play well to the pillars?
I think you just got to go out there and be aggressive, but don't be out there being selfish. I think there's two different things between being selfish and being aggressive. So it's hard to describe that in words what that is, but when you're out on the court, just trying to play that line right there.
And what did you see tonight? Because obviously you had a good game. A lot of the bench guys actually had a great game, but you didn't get the job quite done.
Yeah.
What did you see?
I think in that third quarter, early fourth, we just gave up too many threes. They went on a run and we didn't really respond back. So I think that was the big area in the game.
Obviously, you guys didn't play very well last night at all. You played much better tonight, but how do you, as a group, not let it snowball? How do you not let it become 4 losses in a row?
Just worry about the next one. For us, these games are over. Throw it away. Obviously, you can learn from certain things, but just move forward and then get the next one. So we think about Detroit now.
I know it's not the win tonight, but is it still it's almost a night and day feeling from last night?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, wins and losses is all that matters. So there's no more victories in my book.
How do you prep for Detroit, knowing that they're a bit of a problemsome team for the Raptors?
Yeah, it's just effort with us. We lost a couple last year, so we definitely gonna want to come in there with some energy and get the win out there.
It's okay. Whatever the team needs me to do. It's always gonna be the biggest thing, the biggest goal. Just when the team needs me to show up, I'll try to show up the best way I can.
Obviously, you didn't play very well last night. You played much better tonight. As a veteran, how do you keep these guys from getting off the rails?
I mean, obviously, it's tough. With me having so much experience and the other guys not having as much, it's easy to kind of get down on yourself, or it's easy to kind of, go into the weeds. For us, we just got to stay the course. Just stay the course. Continue to just, believe in what we're doing out there. We did put ourselves in position to win a basketball game, but we went in self-destruct mode. And when you go into self-destruct mode, it's hard to come back out of that. And it showed tonight. But the good thing is, we're learning from that. We don't have a bunch of guys that usually do a lot of scoring for us. So, it gives us the opportunity to learn, who can step up, and who's going to be ready, and who we can play down the stretch, and the guys that we need to put on the court.
Nick was talking before the game about how hard it is to get guys to stay ready. When they don't play, then all of a sudden they got to play. It's like 6 minutes and then 34.
I found out right before the game that I was starting. So, which,
Which to be able to stay ready and give them 34 good minutes.
I mean, the way I play, I don't think it's very hard. I think it's just more so, the stuff that I do shows on the stat sheet, or it shows, you know, when I have, you know, long periods of time, or are able to play long spurts or in a actual rotation, you know. But you know, it's not as hard as people think, you know, just because I've been a consistent guy for my whole career, and you know, I know how to go out there and just play basketball. I try to feed off everybody who's playing, you know, with me. You know, if we have certain guys on the court, I try to just fit in around those guys, and then just work my way through whatever, you know, stresses or problems that we're having.
What are you seeing from Scotty right now? I mean, rookie of the year, expectations coming this year, sky high, and then it's been sort of a little uneven. Why, and what are you seeing, and where do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have guys that go through the sophomore slump, and you know, sometimes, you know, it hits a little sooner than later, you know. But you know, I think Scott is still gonna be great. You know, it's all this is a part of the growing process, and as long as he understands that it's a part of the growing process and he doesn't get down on himself, he's gonna be great. And Scott is a highly confident individual, so I'm not too worried about, you know, him getting down on himself, or you know, him feeling a certain way. You know, more so of trying to figure out, like, okay, how can we get him back going? How can we get him back to the Scotty Barnes that we had last year, the Rookie of the Year? You know, the guy who everybody's talking about is going to be, you know, a stud in this league for a long time. And, you know, I think he's going to get back to that, you know. But, you know, one of the biggest things is just him going out there and just continuing to play just like he is now. Continue to build that experience and that confidence, and continue to make sure that, you know, he's taking us, you know, by the horns and saying, hey, you know, I'm going to stir this ship, and I'm going to make sure that we're going to win games.
Is the sophomore slump more to do with like self-confidence, or the fact that teams scout you better maybe in your second year?
It could be a little bit of both, just depending on who the player is. You know, I think right now, you know, teams are scouting. You know, but you know, it's never the scout or the team. It's always, you know, you yourself. You know, and you know, Scotty puts a lot of pressure and a lot of weight on his shoulders, and sometimes that can be, you know, your biggest killer. You know, and you know, but I love that about him, that he puts a lot of stress and a lot of pressure on himself to be great and to be better each and every day, and it's only going to make him into a better individual and a better player.
You also mentioned the self-destruct mode, but really you guys lost by just a range of threes that just came down all at once. So
self-destruct mode. It stems from us coming down and, you know, getting away from what got us to 12 to 14 point lead, and then, you know, sometimes our offense sets up our defense, and you know, when we're taking bad shots, or we're not taking the right shots or doing the right thing on offense, it leads to us going down on defense and them getting a wide range of threes because we're not back on defense. You know, when it's hard for a team to get a wide range of threes when they're taking the ball out of the net every single time, and then they have to walk it up now. They have to actually set up a play, as opposed to 3 or 4 guys leaking out and then they're just spraying the ball out, and then we're trying to scramble and get back. So, you know, it's a lot of different factors that go into this stuff, and you know, one thing always trickles down to the next.
Going back to Scotty for just a sec, you mentioned his confidence, and it is like he's a very confident individual.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that confidence waver at all?
No. I mean, you still see him driving to the basket. You still see him taking shots with confidence. You still see him, you know, getting into his one-on-one mode where, you know, he has a mismatch and he's taking guys. So, you know, the confidence hasn't wavered. You know, I think it's just more so, you know, just sometimes guys have a bad streak of games, or, you know, they have a bad start to a season, and then they take off at some point, you know, and things will change. You know, they always do.
When you look at all the numbers, you guys had the advantage in mostly all of them, except for the 12 more threes. What happened to the guarding of the three-point shots?
Well, I think that you're never going to win a game when you get beat 19-7 at the three-point line. Almost impossible to do that. Well, a lot of those things happened in transition. A lot of them happened in the second half. I think that they made a strong effort to really push it. They were driving it up the sides, driving it to the basket, kicking out, kind of semi-break transition shots. So just a little bit of getting getting ourselves settled in defensively. I thought when we did get back, we guarded them pretty good a lot of the night, but we weren't getting back enough in transition.
You talked before the game about guys wanting more minutes and producing when they got them. I think Thad and Malachi, probably Delano, were pleasantly surprising in that regard.
Yeah, I would say so. I thought Thad had a really good game. That's a ton of minutes for him as of late, but I thought he was really good. Malachi also, I thought again played really well, especially in the first stint that he had. Delano was really good all the way through. Chris was good as well. Yeah.
On the flip side of that, you guys did go 7 of 35. Is that just variance, or is it we're offensively we're not? I mean, you were punching the paint a lot early. You got to the free throw line a lot. What can you change to kind of nail that?
Yeah, I think that was the story of the game, Michael, right there, because we had 27 of those 35 were just exactly what we're looking for on kickouts. I mean, there was a couple challenged ones and tough ones that we'd take back that we shot too early without touching the paint in the first half, but not too many of them. Yeah, didn't shoot it quite well enough, I didn't think. Created good shots. It's okay, my bad.
In games like these, how do you ask for more from your bench when, like, you know, the same guys are performing well, but the stars are just not there?
You don't ask for much more from the bench. You're right. We probably needed a couple of our guys that started the game to play a little bit better, right? I mean, listen, we played really well. We had a really good. They were executing a game plan really good, I thought. Had a really bad fourth quarter. It's a tough one as far as getting here and traveling and being down numbers, all that stuff. Still no excuses. I thought we still, with 6 minutes to go, were right there. But just everything, the momentum was all shifted. Just everything went their way and nothing went our way.
Is there a message for your guys either today, tomorrow, when you meet, like where you're coming off a couple of losses that don't look good, and how do you kind of make sure it doesn't fester a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't look good. I mean, we're missing a ton of guys, and these teams are good, right? I don't. It doesn't matter who we're playing or where. I mean, I think where probably does, right? When you're on the road, you're in a tough game, period, right? You're on the road missing a bunch of guys. It's really tough. I'm proud of the way these guys played tonight. Wasn't very proud of the way they played last night, but that was just kind of maybe one of those nights. But I'm proud. I thought we fought like heck tonight. Did a lot of the things we like to do, and just didn't quite have enough juice in the end. We'll get a day's rest, and we'll try to get the next one.